A few things before we get started on today's show. We are 3 subscribers away from 24,000 here on Warriors Today. So if you want more Warriors content, hit that red subscribe button down below. But also, if you like the NBA and want more general NBA content, we reached a milestone on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. 267,000 subscribers. We're pushing out NBA videos all the time, aside from Warriors content. So go to youtube.com/chatsportstv and subscribe to the Chat Sports family. Welcome into Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Coming up on today's show, we're talking about Jonathan Kuminga and his emergence on this Warriors roster, but also some Warriors trade rumors. Should Golden State and Bob Myers pull the trigger on a deal for Myles Turner of the Indiana Pacers? We start off with Jonathan Kuminga because in a couple games over the weekend, he was putting folks on notice. And this is a prospect who's really somewhat polarizing because of his athletic intangibles and his athletic ability. Drafted number 7 by the Golden State Warriors in the 2021 NBA Draft. And you saw over the weekend in a win against the Chicago Bulls on Friday and against the Charlotte Hornets in a loss on Sunday, the potential that Kuminga has and the impact that he can make not just in his career, but in his rookie campaign. I do want to focus on what he was able to do against the Charlotte Hornets, albeit in a loss to end that Warriors winning streak. They still have the best record in the NBA, by the way, because Golden State's been cooking. In 10 minutes, Kuminga was great on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. Really, his upside defensively is enormous, and he reminds me a lot of the early career of Jaylen Brown, where he entered the league as a raw prospect and then fine-tuned his craft over time, and Jaylen Brown has become one of the best two-way players in the league. That was my draft comp for Jonathan Kuminga. But against Charlotte, in only 10 minutes, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. And against the Bulls on Friday night, he had pogo sticks his legs. I mean, you saw the athletic qualities with his ability to really just rise up off the floor, making explosive plays, not just offensively, but defensively as well. I'm starting to get really intrigued by the emergence of Jonathan Kuminga. Went down to the G League for a little while, and now Steve Kerr is giving him an opportunity to crack this rotation, and he's making the best of his opportunities, especially impressing some of his teammates, including Draymond Green. This is what he had to say after that Charlotte L. Kuminga was incredible in his minutes tonight. I think those minutes will continue to grow if he continues to play that way, and I have no doubt in my mind that he will. He'll get smarter, and he'll figure out more stuff out as he continues to play. It's funny because going back to NBA draft night and the days that followed, I was a little bit confused about the Warriors drafting of Kuminga because I thought they were going to pinpoint players who could help right away, and I thought Kuminga, while he had that upside, was a little bit raw. But according to some reports, Draymond was texting with Bob Myers during the draft and said, at number 7, draft Kuminga. That decision right now looks like the right one, even though it is early. How about what Steve Kerr had to say about the rookie teenager? He was very impressed with him, too. More than anything, he defends without fouling. He doesn't reach. A lot of rookies will reach and try to make spectacular plays. He really trusts his athleticism and his strength. He made a real impact in his minutes. I have no doubt in my mind that he can check just about anybody. He has the size, he has the strength, he has the quickness, and he has a lot of ability, which is what Steve Kerr is saying, what Draymond Green was saying as well. I want to pop back up my kind of draft research that I did on Kuminga leading up to the NBA draft. He was number 5 on my big board. So in my draft analysis leading up to the big night, I thought Kuminga was a really good prospect. My number 5 overall prospect on my top 100 big board of my top 100 prospects in the 2021 NBA draft class. This is the scouting report that I had at the time going into the night that the Warriors had drafted him. I thought Kuminga was pretty raw, as I mentioned. Really good size, though. At 6'6", 210 pounds. I think he's going to continue to add on to that frame. And you saw him kind of get better over time in the Summer League, and he's been getting better with reps throughout the first couple of games as he's starting to crack this rotation. With the G League Ignite last year, he really got overshadowed by Jalen Green, who was drafted number 2 by the Houston Rockets, an uber-athletic scorer. And a lot of people didn't realize that Kuminga had the ability that he did, but in the early stint while he was with the G League Ignite, some people were talking about Kuminga being the number one player in the draft class, but then his shot kind of fell off a cliff, and he was only shooting around 30% from the field, which is why he slid down some draft boards. But over the summer, he started to work on that shot. That shot has become more consistent. Really, the upside here in the immediacy of the moment is him being a very good defender. And I think if he's able to continue to defend at an elite level, he's going to be able to help this Warriors team this year, even if they're competing for an NBA championship. And as we've seen here in the first couple of games, he is an athletic juggernaut. He can really do anything because he's so gifted with his body. So do you think Kuminga should get more playing time from Steve Kerr? Your opportunity to hop on board and interact with us and really voice your opinions on this. Get into the comment section right now. Type M for you think Kuminga should be playing more. Type E for he has to earn more minutes. Get those votes in the comment section right now. As I mentioned off the top, here on Golden State Warriors today, we've been killing it. Some of these videos getting 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views as we continue to grow like crazy, but we're also growing very rapidly on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. We just reached a milestone there, and we push out NBA news and rumors couple times a week. So subscribe there by going to youtube.com/chatsportstv and be a part of a family that includes 267,000 people all across the globe. All of them love the NBA and love sports. Warriors trade rumors now. Should Golden State make a deal for Myles Turner? Reason we're talking about this is because over the summer and last year, there were a multitude of reports that had pointed to the Warriors' interest at the time in Myles Turner, the big man for the Indiana Pacers. They were interested in him over the summer, even dating back to last year, leading into the NBA trade deadline. And really, Myles Turner, one of the best overall big men in the NBA, has been involved in trade talks over time, given the uncertainty of the Indiana Pacers moving forward. They have Rick Carlisle, who's coaching them now, taken over after they have a couple changes over the last couple of years in that head coaching vacancy. And they've gotten off to a slow start this year. And Sports Illustrated put together an article explaining why, right now, Golden State should pursue Myles Turner in a trade. For those of you already going off in the comment section, not having even watched the video to allow me to voice my opinions on this, I don't think the Warriors have to make a trade for Myles Turner. Note that before you go nuts in the comment section, even though I do love you for being emotional. Here's what Sports Illustrated had to say about Myles Turner and why they think the Dubs should be in on him via trade. Right now, the Warriors center is 2020 second overall pick James Wiseman, but he is injured. So Kevon Looney has been starting at center. Turner would be a massive upgrade over Looney, and while Wiseman has serious potential, he's just 20 years old and does not truly fit into the timeline of Curry, Thompson, and Green. I have made my opinions known on this. After watching the Warriors throughout the first couple of weeks in the regular season, given how well they're playing, I want Bob Myers, I want Joe Lacob, I want Steve Kerr to keep this roster together. They are playing a beautiful style of basketball, and the semblance of all of the parts on this team are working perfectly. Don't fix what ain't broken. There's also this. James Wiseman, Kevon Looney, very, very affordable. Myles Turner is not. He's due $17.5 million in base salary this year in 2021 and 2022, as well as next year in 2022 and 2023. Why pay a guy $17.5 million when you don't need to make an upgrade on the roster and you already have affordable pieces on it with Kevon Looney, a longtime veteran who's been a part of championship teams with this organization, and James Wiseman, who's cheap, has a lot of upside, has a lot of talent, and I frankly want to see what he can do with this team right now. When you watch Golden State, currently right now, this team has star power. They have great depth. They have phenomenal chemistry. They have an elite coach in Steve Kerr, who has 3 rings, and they have the best defense in the NBA. All of that and all of those components are ingredients to a team that can win a championship. So I don't think the Warriors have to make a move at all, especially for Myles Turner, even though he's a very good player, as the numbers do indicate. This year with Indiana, he's gone off in a couple of games. 40-point performances, big double-double nights. He's averaging 14.5 points per game this year, more than 8 rebounds. He's shooting a very efficient and effective 55% from the floor. And like last year, This year, he is leading the NBA in blocks with more than 3 blocks per night. So he's good offensively. He's worked on his game, being able to shoot from the arc and bury some threes. But defensively, he'd be able to give this team a lot on that end of the floor. But again, I just don't think Golden State needs to trade for him because I like the current construct of this roster. I think they have a lot of the ingredients that a championship team needs, as I mentioned, and base salary of $17.5 million this year and next. Warriors are tight on cash. What do you think, though? Do you want Golden State to go after Myles Turner? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Once again, chime in the comment section down below and subscribe to Warriors Today. We are 3 people away from 24,000. Shout out to Rick Barry. Be one of the 3 that gets us to 24,000, or be one of the people that gets us past 24,000 as we continue to grow. And thanks for watching today's show.